Good morning. We are between flocks. We sold our chickens and we're starting to get ready for the next flock. We've got some rain. It's coming in. There's a hurricane in the Gulf sending some rain, but we're gonna go ahead and start working on some of our floor management, show you a little bit about that. Once all the chickens are caught and gone, this is kind of what you're left with on the floors. You can see there's a lot of crusting, a lot of caked up chicken litter. For those of you that don't know, chicken litter is basically the product that's left over once the chickens are gone. We use it as fertilizer. So this is our sawdust pile here. This is the bedding that we use when we do a full clean out. A lot of people think that after every flock, we go through and remove all this chicken litter and put in all new sawdust. That would be very nice, but it's just not financially possible. Each house would hold a little over a tractor trailer load of sawdust. One tractor trailer load costs $1,200. So you can see that could add up really quick when you're growing 6 to 7 flocks a year. So since we can't put in sawdust after every single flock, we have some other equipment that helps us to kind of work with what we've got. So this is our cruster here. We hook it up to our John Deere tractor. So what it does is when you turn it on, you drop this down towards the litter. This spins, picks up all those chunks. They come up through here. This vibrates, shakes down all the small stuff, takes the big stuff over into here. And then once we get it full, we'll go dump that in the barn. We'll probably fill this up 8 to 12 times for each house, just depending on the floor conditions and all that, temperature, weather, time of year, all that stuff kind of affects it. But we run it through the chicken houses twice. So we'll do 2 full laps unless we need another lap. So this is what it looks like after 1 lap. You can see there's still some chunks in here, which it's not gonna get up every single chunk, but the floor is looking better. It still needs some work. So I'm about to take this cruster, run it through this house for the 2nd time, and hopefully that's going to get this one finished up and get it ready so we can start getting ready for our birds coming back. It gets pretty dusty here in the chicken houses. I've got all my fans turned on, N95 mask, got my Carhartt goggles. I listen to music or podcasts, so then I'll put these over my ears to get rid of the noise. So I'm gonna get ready to start crusting. This is what you're left with in the barn. So we dump the cruster in here. You can see all these chunks of chicken litter. There is some powder in there, but it's mostly chunks. So this makes real good fertilizer. As soon as it gets dried out enough, we'll be taking all this and spreading it on our pastures to help our ryegrass grow throughout the winter. This is basically 8 houses of crusting after 1 flock. As you can see, there's a lot of chicken litter. There's a lot of tractor riding that goes on to get all this in the barn. After we've gone over the litter for the 2nd time, You can see it's really starting to get cleaned up. There's still some little small chunks in there. The cruster's not going to pick those up, but for the most part, it's just leftover sawdust and some of this chicken powder. So that's kind of what we want when we start our chickens back on it, if we're not doing a full clean out where we have all sawdust. The two main problems that you have starting baby chickens are ammonia, which in these large chunks, they hold ammonia, and when you heat these houses up, that ammonia really becomes present. That's bad on the baby chickens. And also moisture. So you can see if you pick up your litter and make a ball, if it stays together, there's a lot of moisture still in it. So this still has some moisture in it, but by getting all that top layer of crusting off, we're able to really dry this out. So here we are, we've got probably 12 to 14 days before we get chickens back on it. So these houses are in a real good position to dry this litter out. If there's a lot of moisture present in this litter, it's just a lot better environment for bacteria and other harmful stuff to grow. So we're really working hard to get this litter dried out. That way we can start these chickens out in the best possible environment. So after 2.5 days of crusting, we finally got it finished up. All the crusting's in the barn. Our next big project, we're going to be swapping over from using feed trays to using a turbo feeder. So tune into our next video to see what that's all about. We're hoping they're really going to be helpful for our farm. We're always trying to stay up with the latest technology and latest products on our farms, so that way we can perform. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.